This means that the individual's psyche is far from being safely synthesized. On the contrary, it threatens to fragment only too easily under the onslaught of unchecked emotions. While this situation is familiar to us from the studies of anthropologists, it is not so irrelevant to our own advanced civilization as it might seem. We too can become dissociated and lose our identity. We can be possessed and altered by moods or become unreasonable and unable to recall important facts about ourselves or others, so that people ask, "What the devil has gotten into you?" We talk about being able to control ourselves, but self-control is a rare and remarkable virtue. But so the intention is like this will be, I'll cut this part off and leave it as a video. They'd like to hear from me before I go.
Can I just say I'm really sorry. I called your channel impenetrable.
He loves that. That'll probably be the theme. That'll probably be the theme of his next live stream. He loves it.
When you figure it out for yourself, it's yours. If I tell you, it's mine.
Hi, this is Paul, and I'm...
Stay right here with Grim Grizz on Virtually Not Alone.
Like love. Love is worth saving.
I don't know love.
Now encompasses everything. Does it not?
It's all there is.
It's all there is.
You choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart.
See, you've given yourself up. But this is the most powerful thing that can be done. Surrender. See, and love is an act of surrender to another person. Total abandonment. I give myself to you. Take me, do anything you like with me. See? So, and that's quite mad. So we come to the strange conclusion that in madness lies sanity.
Whoa! What's going on here? This is a live stream for the healing of nations. August 26, 2024, under the sun on the thumbnail. And there's business suited men looking at us right across the bubble, right across the bubble, right across the virtually not alone bubble. Hello, you're here. That's what this is. I am a.
It's a whisper in your ear, now listen here. Remember, Embody, it's all so clear. No hidden strings, no puppeteer. We're by your side, have no fear. I cherish truth. I cherish truth. Remember, Embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Hi, I'm David the Hypocrite, and by order of the Sacred Order of Foolish Transparency, hello. I see the assassins have failed. Up, hot on tonight's stream is for the healing of nations and under the sun, because you know I love to deliver on the title and the thumbnail, will also be me taking umbrage, perhaps a visit to Miriam, and before the mind control savings throws, you should know that the Writers of Meaning, an anthology on community, is an artifact manifested from the associations of underneath the bridges of meaning. And that's going to be available for all sorts of purchases in 5 days. And we'll talk about it more then, but prepare yourself for that excitement. Remember, Embody,
there is no agency. We want
what's best. Now, here you go to savings throws against the mind control, brought to you by General Griswold, guys, Grim of the First Weapon Aggression Protocol, and a member of the Fraternal Regiment, embodying narcissistic sociopathy. You're swimming in mind control, I hope you know, and by giving you the savings throw, you acknowledge that it's true and that failed the savings throw, but you see, humans get better at whatever they do, and manipulating other humans is something that humans do. So we've been at that for hundreds, probably, at least tens of thousands of years, and as a result, you swim in mind control, whether that's just the commercials or everything I say. And here, one of the rare places on the internet, you can get a savings throw against that mind control. All you have to do is choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart. I roll the die. If it's over 10, you take half damage from the mind control for the rest of the show and the rest of your day. And that's the best deal you're going to get around here. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Ooh, survivalist coming in with a 2. A 2. I'm not even sure there's bonuses available that can cover you, except perhaps a 7 indigo from a channel member. Socialists. You guys got the Baker's Coven today. That's a 13. You're going to do all right. Wisdom, folks, on the other hand, pairing it up with the survivalists, you're going to need some bonuses too. And that's not the only pair we have for you. Heart coming in with the 17, prime 17, and so is the indigo too. So heart and indigo and socialists have made their savings throw, and if you're not among that group, remember it.
There is no agency. We want remember. There is no agency. We want back.
All right, as promised, we will now be taking umbrage, and the umbrage we will be taking is from what happened was. Let me tell you the story. This happened today. This saw the stream. I watched the stream. I'm about to take umbrage at with you, and I thought to myself, wow, my work here is done. So I went and I ran to my new handler and I said, I saw a thing today. I saw a thing today, and I think my work here is done. And the handler says, no, you fool. That just means your work is beginning. But what happened is, when I came into this little corner, agency, that card of the show is the Three of Hearts. I considered the problem that Christianity was facing was the mimetic association with Ned Flanders that it had, and what happened was today I saw what easily could be construed as three variants of Ned Flanders discussing defense against the dark arts and how our reality seems to resemble it. Here's a small taste of the opening.
Sweet. No pressure.
We're live.
Oh, you've
We did it. I think so. Live from Transfigured Studios. I have Cale Zeldin. You are a teacher at a boarding school in Rhode Island.
Correct.
And a viral fashion influencer.
Yes, apparently, yes.
And Moises is a pastor in the CRC and a resident of this little corner of the internet.
Yep.
And so we are going to be talking about Harry Potter and the spiritual significance of Harry Potter. That's not a joke. And defense against the dark arts and what that means for us now.
And then the umbrage right after this. In case you didn't know, this is a live stream and there's a chat, they call it, that I call a hive mind. And if you're participating in the hive mind, you get a +2 bonus to the next stream savings throws. But also, you might get to interfere with the stream itself, such as Avril Pilotson over here saying, how can you be a resident in something that isn't a thing or a place? And I say to you, sir, how do you define place? Because I think places are made by attention being spent there. And therefore, this is a place. But maybe that's just kayfabe.
Please don't take my
now, therefore, then, let us begin with the umbrage. The first thing any of you who don't know need to know is that the man in the middle in this situation is the one and only Cale Zeldin, who's begun a Defense Against the Dark Arts Course channel YouTube thing over on the Cale Zeldin underneath. I don't know. You'll find him. But see, this man has chose an anti-denim fashion hill to stand and die on, to which we respond with the Denim Wars Denny hat for only $26.88 now. Still at the remarkably slashed low price, man. Look how much I used to charge folks for that, because I thought people cared about fashion. This man comes onto this screen. Look, you guys, see, this is why I had to say I'm a hypocrite. I believe that one of the benefits that we should be working on together in this place is this whole iron sharpens iron thing. And I don't know that I'm a good whetstone for you folks, because what I am is a Rip Van Winkle video game kid who's still Peter Panning, as far as we can tell. And so I'm not representative of how you should conduct yourself. And just because I have done so successful and popular as this wretched thing doesn't mean that your standards of presentation for such an important topic. I mean, I had to bother Meg Basham because you talked about her so much over on the Twitter, and that is how you present yourself? Sirs, I take umbrage.
Yeah, that the other screen is doing. It's a little bit
bit
of a lag.
This one is a lag.
Yeah.
But so we've got the comments and turn that off.
Yeah. Don't get distracted.
And we get the comments over here. All right, that works. So Cale, how did you first stumble on Harry Potter?
So I stumbled across Harry Potter. I was teaching out him extended period.
Hey, did you know you get a +4 bonus if you put an ear of corn emoji when I'm muted like that? We have more umbrage to take. The umbrage we have to take is this nonsense. Those Coca-Cola products on the screen there. Gentlemen, your body is the temple of God. Do you think that because we're humans, we have adapted to drinking carbonated sugar water instead of water and other nutritious foods? And you're demonstrating that you've been shot with a normalization ray to think it's okay because of set and the television, which you've had an altar to your whole fucking life and are probably worshiping on Tuesdays. And what frightens me most is because the poison red can of the red corporations are dragons, my friend. A bunch of wizards cast them into existence, and then they go and they poison everyone with diabetes for their money, and the dragon sits on the treasure hoard, but the guys underneath have a funnel. Anyway, I'm used to seeing the red and white variant, and I'm considerably concerned that the black variant can you see in use here is related to it being a Coke Zero or other product in which it's not even actual sugar, but some weird chemical like aspartame that was rejected by the FDA 17 times before Donald Rumsfeld became the head of the FDA and it got approved. So, I take umbrage. What's umbrage, you might ask? Well, we'll check in with our friend Miriam right after this on the Under the Sun for the Healing of Nations stream for August 26, 2024.
Pipe for that.
on, says preach. I'm not preaching. I'm a cautionary tale. And once upon a time, I met a guy named Harley Sealbender at a campfire in Chino, California. And I said to him, maybe I'm done being a cautionary tale. Turns out I had at least another 2 years of that. But that's drink your sodas, boys and girls. Do it. I did. I carried a Mountain Dew bottle around with me for like 6 years, like it was a baby bottle. Anyway, casino deck card for the show. Queen of Diamonds. She'll beat you if she's able. Click.
I listen to him. I think he is telling us the truth. That is indeed what he wants. Those of you who are sort of sniffing for duplicity or grift or dishonesty, I don't smell any of that here. I think he's telling us. I see this guy. I see both of these guys, but I see this guy as being very, very genuine and honest. He is telling.
I'm not a cat.
And now the taking of umbrage with our
new donation from UPS.
Whoa, there's now a chatbot thing that says things to me? Wow, thank you, UPS and or Upcycle Club, as we love to know him. Let's see, we got we're visiting our good friend Miriam to get the definition of umbrage.
Umbrage.
A feeling of pique or resentment at some often fancied slight or insult. Often fancied. I think that means the resentment, the slight or insult is usually just in your head, and you have some feeling of pique or resentment, and that's
umbrage.
Now, what is pique? Because nobody has. What the hell, dictionary?
Pique
is to excite or arouse, especially by provocation, challenge, or rebuff. And since we're going to visit Miriam, we have to now decode the top secret Miriam message to all of the agents that use that device.
Hello, everybody. This is Karen at the Meaning Code, where we explore the structures of the universe to discover the metaphors that uncover the hidden reality.
And we're doing that now, or maybe that's
fallacious,
a formal word that typically describes something such as an argument or assumption that is false or inaccurate and tends to mislead or deceive others.
Fallacious.
The way we get the secret message is we go back to the last 5 words of the day. That's one.
Attenuate.
It means to make it weaker or less in amount.
Attenuate.
A thing. And then
Jeremiad.
What the dang, bro? You got
Jeremiad.
It's a long cautionary or angry rant about something.
Jeremiad.
All right. And then what else? Oh, no.
Newfangled.
That's something that's been recently invented or developed and usually implies this new thing is difficult for some to understand.
Newfangled.
All right. And then what's the last one? What's our last word?
Dearth.
Oh. A lack or an adequate supply. I have a dearth of nouns to use in the secret message today, but it seems to be that the fallacious, newfangled Jeremiah. Those are fun words, at least, right? Right. You guys. I think I had an auditory hallucination a little bit ago. Did you hear it too?
Now what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime? I don't know.
And now, finally, the 33rd minute of the thing with which we take umbrage.
We can't contribute to good because Sirius does. And Sirius is a much worse character in the book than he is in the movie. Like throughout the Order of the Things, he's just this resentful whatever. Yeah. Except for when he finally gets out and is able to help Harry. It's like, I get to do something. And to a certain degree, he dies happy.
But I think even that, like, that's a profound insight into something that's fundamentally masculine, right? You know, you can't lock a guy up in a basement for extended periods of time, hide with it, and without it really costing him his sense of purpose, his sense of it, all of those things that we talk about. So, you know,
did you hear that?
For you can't lock a guy up in a basement for extended periods of time, hide with it, and without it really costing him his sense of purpose, his sense of it, all of those things that we talk about. So, you know, so you really, even though
we all know that there is no agency any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
And now, from the, what did we call it? An hour and 11th minute of this thing that is entirely worth your time and sharing with anybody who's ever read the book. Holy smokes, there were people standing in line to read the books. Why would you use that to mimetically communicate your message, Grim? Anyway, I'm going to run a few minutes from an hour and 11 deep while I drop this link so you can go over and make sure you're subscribed to our good friend Sam on the right. That's his channel on the right. The guy over here, you see, he's on the right. It's his channel. He calls it Transfigured. I don't know what that means, but I'll be dropping the link while I play this. So you can go over there, sub. You know how it works.
Church, right? And that's also, maybe it's also a little bit true, right?
Yeah.
But then when like there really are these orchestrators, with millions of dollars,
and what it does is says, oh, evil people are just stupid, and there are a lot of stupid evil people. But there's a lot of real smart ones too, and you can't negate that. And on the good side, there's a lot of dumb, good people.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of real smart ones too.
You know, I like to carry on. I like to sort of make my quips about spells and, you know, on Twitter. But I really feel like one of the powerful spells is exactly that little device, right? Don't attribute to malice what you can attribute to incompetence. It's like, but
well,
that's the thing is that
was it Jordan Hall's tweet who said there's a difference between incompetence and malcompetence?
Yeah.
Like, what about if the Secret Service has been intentionally degraded?
Yeah, but none of those things are absolute, right? That's not an absolute rule because sometimes it is malice. And sometimes it's malice trying to peer down.
Right. And that's exactly right. That's what I feel like we live through. Is this like? It's very easy, you know, and so I was thinking of Francis Collins, for instance, and I paid pretty close attention to the whole.
Now, on behalf of the order of not that. It's because of the fraternal regimen embodying narcissistic sociopathy. You noticed there that one of those fellas quoted a guy named Jordan Hall, and I just thought that you should know. You can find a conversation between me and the fellow quoted. Like, people are getting quoted and they've had conversations with me. You can find that over on this channel. If you search by the Jordan Hall in there, and it comes up at my Fringe Encounter series there. Turns out it's also a podcast, which makes you able to listen to it on YouTube Music, which Pete just told me. And I've now made these live streams also podcasts. So if you like to listen in your car on YouTube Music instead of YouTube, then now you'll be able to, thanks to Pete from Strange Theology. Go subscribe to him. But yes, now back to the last timestamp and the most important one from this Defense Against the Dark Arts conversation with Mo and Kale and Sam.
After us in that particular way. And Magnum Basham's coming in a very sort of black and white. This is evil. Anyone who cooperated it, I've got your receipts. You know, you need to be something or another shamed, you know, from my Twitter profile.
Yeah.
And then some people are like, well, you know, like Gavin Ortland, you know, he had one video about climate change. Are we going to cancel Gavin Ortland? And like, are you really saying that, you know, all these things are that black and white? And that's sort of an issue. It's
so I would say we're not in book 3 and 4. I would say we're in book 6. Because the evil is out.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's, because I mean, so what happens in book 5? Everybody sees Voldemort's back, or at least the Ministry does.
Yeah. Because that's the big showdown with the glass and yeah.
And so
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The biggest takeaway for us here on the Grimgriz stream is in the comment section below. Not the hive mind over there. I don't want to know your opinions yet. I want you to go back and watch in the replay comment section where you can get a +5 to the next stream save. And let me know. Let me know, what book of the Harry Potter series do you think we're in as a society? At least most people can see the umbrage these days, right? Right? Okay. The Blue Church card of the show is the Suicide King, and boy howdy, that's funny to me. Okay, and then more branding. Thank you.
Tell me that you've lived here your whole life. No, not yet. Are you married? No bad habit. No bad habit, eh? Well, what do you chew that tobacco for? For nothing. Nobody's fool enough to pay me for it. Well, tell me, how far is it to the next crossroads? Follow your nose and you'll come to it. Follow your nose, follow your nose and you'll
talks about thinking outside the box. They go inside the box and tell everybody in there that they should learn to think outside the box. If you really want people to think outside the box, go find people who are from outside the box, because those people can't think anywhere but outside the box. That's where we were, all of us to one extent or another in those days. It's not where we are now.
There's a reality that you and Paul touch on when it comes to like people getting what they need versus what they want, that you and Paul kind of see pretty clearly, and I'm trying to learn how to see that way too.
Well, that's my faith in the arenic nature of the agency. Oh, Parlato says, yes, Avriel, it's much messier. So the weirdo right failed to cancel JK, and then the weirdo left picked up with, get off of that level. God. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I have something even for those of you who have made it this far. I have a rare and beautiful occurrence that's about to happen. We call it the premiere of new branding, but this one needs a lead-in branding, I'm afraid. So enjoy.
What makes you assume that I'm not about to feed you all to the crocodile? What makes you assume that I'm not about to feed you all to the crocodile? What makes you assume that I'm not about to feed you all to the crocodile?
That's very exciting.
Hello. I see the assassins have failed.
And now,
did you get that on video?
No, I'm not. No, that's I'll show you later. Look, the gator, obviously.
You got that? Send me that. 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 Hey, yo.
I just feel bad for this man. My God, someone's just trying to get you.
Yes,
It's okay.
bad.
in a world where Mark Parker is Grim Grizz's T-Grog. All right, we'll get back on track right after our favorite list. Did we do this one yet? Probably. As I mentioned earlier, the being a part of the hive mind means you might be part of the show. And what happened is we got a new word from Miriam, Jeremiah, and then Cassandra said that it happened. It happened, and I'm afraid it didn't. It didn't. So I'll have to make it happen and show you what being Jeremiah looks like. Thanks to our special guest in the hive mind comment section, that Mark Parker, Shenandoah Valley. Card of the show is the 3 of clubs. We're in the clubs club now. Mark Parker in the hive mind says, so the weirdo right failed to cancel J.K. Rowling, and then the weirdo left, picked up where the right left off in canceling J.K. Rowling, which caused the right to make her series a manual for spiritual warfare. How is this rational? Well, sir, first of all, I want to call you out for your othering of the weirdo right and the weirdo left, because as we know, there's a lot of mind control out there. And what happens is some people are under this spell and some people are under that spell. And if you define them by the spell they're under, what's the word for that? It's edify? Vivify. It makes it so. It makes it so. You give them that identity of the mind control they're under, and that's just messed up, man. And I think that's more an example of someone being Jeremiah than the other. Let me know if you disagree.
What's reality? I don't know. When my bird was looking at my computer monitor, I thought, that bird has no idea what he's looking at. And yet, what does the bird do? Does he panic? No, he can't really panic. He just does the best he can. Is he able to live in a world where he's so ignorant? Well, he doesn't really have a choice. The bird's okay, even though he doesn't understand the world. You're that bird looking at the monitor, and you're thinking to yourself, I can figure this out. Maybe you have some bird ideas. Maybe.
No. Okay, let's get there. All right, I would really like to stop and go into how we have somebody in the corner we called President Foxman, and when we say somebody's in the corner in this fashion, we mean that they've launched a boat as part of the flotilla of YouTube channels, and he went over Marxism and Fallout in a beautiful way. And I like to point out his boat because he's our as far as spanning the generations of human packaging. He's on the young end, and we need more cross-cultural ratcheting, they call it. So that's Kate. That's great, Kate. That's great. Oh, that's the one I'm supposed to talk over.
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
And now, to finally deliver on For the Healings of Nations and Under the Sun, well, let's get to that. You may or may not know, if you stick around long enough, you'll find out that I'm interested in a cat named Baba Winyama, who asserts that not only is the life of Christ something that happened in reality and also happens in the stars, but also happens in the human body in this following way. I think I got the timestamp.
The Israelites, the emotional nature. And where does he head? Where does he move to? The Promised Land. And where is the Promised Land? The Promised Land is flowing with milk and honey. Jesus died at the age of 33 in Golgotha. The essence of life moves through your 33 vertebrae to Golgotha, where it meets the pineal, the same place Jacob saw God face to face. And when it reaches pineal, what happens? It secretes DMT, which is an amber-like substance, honey, and serotonin, which is a milky substance. The land flowing with milk and honey.
Yeah. So if you don't waste what happens in your body by riotous living, then it'll sit in your brain for 3 days and then squirt all over your pineal gland. And this was brought to mind to me again today because I was scrolling through X like a mind-controlled slave, as one does. And I saw that somebody had extracted from the Rogan and Thiel conversation the part where Rogan says, they're building nuclear reactors to power these AI things. And that's where this under the sun comes in. There's this saying that there's nothing new under the sun. And if you ascribe to my personal theory that we're probably genetically engineered, because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and humans have already put their genome in the monkeys to make them smarter, that we are at least 6,000 years behind the species that did that to us as far as technologically advancing skills and such. But the real spin here is that if there's nothing new under the sun, then whatever that the prince of this world is making is a what do you call it? Mockery and it's like a false replacement for what we're naturally capable of, if this bullshit about our anatomy is right. And as you may or may not know, I operate under the moniker Griswold Gaius Grimm, and the Gaius from that is named after the one from Battlestar Galactica, who sides with the well, he doesn't side with the robots, but he ends up helping the robots wipe out most of humanity. Sorry. But then he turns out to be an angel. Ha ha. And so it's going to come to pass that you guys all figure out that biological robots are way better than ones made out of metal and such, because there's nothing new under the sun and you're just doing a false mockery. And the thing is, about if that's true, then we're probably biological robots, right? And if we are, then how come we can't contact the source and get why can't we get our updates? Is it because our pineal gland is dirty and the internal washing mechanism of the pineal gland doesn't wash our pineal gland? And so our antennas all clouded up and we can't hear the voice of God anymore. But since that's ridiculous in science, I thought perhaps I'd go ask our good friend ChatGPT a couple of questions, and that's what we're going into now as part of this For the Healing of Nations and Under the Sun stream. Right after.
Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room?
I want to cast Magic Missile. The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet.
I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile.
Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Negative. I am a meat Gundam. Okay, and then so I go over to the ChatGPT and I'm like, hey man, what's going on? How are you today? And it's like, I'm a stupid robot. I'm not doing any way you want. I ask it, I say, what happens in the human brain if you bathe the pineal gland in serotonin and DMT? And it said,
bathing the pineal gland in serotonin and DMT could have profound effects on the human brain, though this is largely theoretical. Here's a breakdown of what might occur. 1. Serotonin. The pineal gland naturally uses serotonin as a precursor to produce melatonin, which regulates sleep-wake cycles. Excessive serotonin in the pineal gland could potentially increase melatonin production, affecting sleep patterns. Serotonin is also a neurotransmitter that contributes to feelings of well-being and happiness. A high concentration of serotonin could lead to enhanced mood, though it's unclear how this would interact specifically within the pineal gland. Number 2, DMT, dimethyltryptamine. DMT is a powerful psychedelic compound that has structural similarities to serotonin. It is speculated that the pineal gland could produce DMT naturally, though this is not definitively proven. If the pineal gland were exposed to DMT, it might lead to intense altered states of consciousness, including vivid hallucinations, out-of-body experiences, or feelings of transcendence. These effects are due to DMT's action on serotonin receptors, particularly the 5-HT2A receptors, which are abundant in the brain. 3. Combined effects. The combination of serotonin and DMT could result in a powerful synergy. Serotonin might stabilize mood and emotional state, while DMT induces profound changes in perception and consciousness. The pineal gland's role in this process might be as a regulator or amplifier of these effects, though the exact mechanisms remain speculative. The interaction of these compounds in the brain could lead to a heightened sense of reality, spiritual experiences, or deep introspective states. But the exact outcome would depend on many factors, including the individual's neurochemistry and psychological state.
And so, Defense Against the Dark Arts, like, they've been mastering how to turn you into a mindless consumer that buys what they want you to for a long, long time. But if we come together and think together and sense make together, then they'll have to up their game even more. And like, so anybody who's steering the big eye is going to get all of that.
Yes, yeah.
If we can train each other to be the eye stalks and bring it together and cognitively process it before we feed it to him, it'll up his level like by magnitudes. And like everybody gets a little bit more above water if we work together that way. I say 12 monkeys, you'll probably have enough of everything to catch what Paul is looking for and the social clues, the stuff that like Gavin would be oblivious to.
How this could be used to allow people to connect and get past the status game. Beware of practicing your piety before men in order to be seen by them, for then you will have no reward from your Father who is in heaven.
Oh, okay. All right. What are we doing? It's a live stream. Yeah. Yeah. And it's called For the Healing of Nations. And you haven't delivered on the title yet. Oh boy. You have uncovered the Under the Sun. Go back and see it again and comment on the replay. If you missed it. Don't forget to buy a hat. This is what Sylvia looks like. That's Sylvia. Okay, and where are we at? Well, let's get the Michigan deck. This is a 5-card show. What do you say? For the Healing of Nations. All right. Well, first, I have to Jeremiah some people. This is the first time we found out that the dictionary has fallen to the point where Jeremiah is now a word. So we're gonna use it again. And today I'm gonna Jeremiah anybody out there who thinks that they consider that person known as Jesus Christ their personal Lord and Savior. If you think that situation is the case, I'm specifically speaking to you in this upcoming segment. And additionally, I'm also addressing the following portion. I'm gonna Jeremiah them both together. Anybody who's interested or has smoked a substance called DMT for the effects thereof, the psychological effects thereof. Let me begin the Jeremiah-ing. For those of you who consider Christ your Lord and Savior, is it not so that somewhere in the book he has said these words and they write it in red so you can know it was from him? Hasn't he said something along the lines of, when ye fast, don't be like, hey y'all, look at me fasting, it's so hard, something like that. When ye fast. You know what when ye fast as a beginning of a sentence means? It means that fasting is a behavior that is expected of you. But when you do it, don't be like this, okay? So when you do it, maybe you do it on the days the moon is in your star sign, like the Yehu with the eyes says. Maybe that's when you do it. And then maybe you fast and pray to cast out the demons that only come out when they fast and pray. And maybe then you'll get a squirt on your antenna. And therefore also, if you're willing to take the shortcut DMT route, why don't you see if it happens naturally in your body if you just live right for a month or 3 days, huh? And why don't you, if you're willing to go and ingest chemicals you trust to be the chemicals they say they are, maybe it's just... I don't know. Is that a successful Jeremiah? Was it too soft, too short? I don't know. Michigan deck card of the show is 9 of diamonds. All right. You still have Healing of Nations. Son of a... It's a long one. This is a long one. Afriel takes the approach. I think letting go of needing to be in contact with the Defiant is part of the game. Its spirits you Sardukar need to be able to act in the absence of orders. And while I am compassionate toward that thing, I believe that the power to cast out demons and heal the sick doesn't come from the spiritual Sardukar, but through them. And so I'm going to have to question that perspective there, my friend. Where we at? Oh no, for the healing of nations. Well, fine then. Okay, what happened was afterwards, after the earlier discussions with the Chat GPT, I ended up here somehow at this Eden restored part, Revelation 22. They call it, where it says the angel showed me the river of the water of life, as clear as crystal, flowing from the throne of God. Where is the throne of God in your body? And of the, if you the moneylenders are in the temple, and of the Lamb down the middle of the great street of the city, which I don't know, seems to me could be the spinal cord or brain parts. Wait, keep going. And on each side of the river stood the tree of life, bearing 12 crops of fruit, yielding its fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree are for the healing of nations. Now the 12 part there, it really got to me, and that it was on each side of the river. And I think that there's probably a lot of human anatomy hidden in the Bible. So I went back and asked the evil demon robots, later. Oh yes. Explain the reference, the 12 cranial nerves. And it said, I don't like the way it reads it. It said, the 12 cranial nerves refers to a set of 12 nerves that emerge directly from the brain rather than the spinal cord and serve various functions related to sensation, motor control, and autonomic processes in the head and neck. These nerves are essential for activities such as seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, swallowing, and facial expressions. And those are the leaves of the tree of life that are for the healing of nations.